Welcome to Cost Saver Conversations. I'm Angela, and I ask the practical questions so you can quickly understand what matters. Today, I'm joined by Assad.
Hi, Angela. We are unpacking UK support scheme eligibility checkers, common mistakes, hidden costs, and smarter choices today, and tying it back to the wider cost saver ecosystem, including tools like Support Scheme Eligibility Checker All UK Help, so you can turn insights into action quickly.
Just a heads up before we dive in, we are your synthetic hosts. We are great with numbers, but as AI, we can sometimes be confidently wrong. Think of us as the digital versions of your most knowledgeable, slightly caffeinated friends.
Exactly. Treat this chat as a smart estimate only, not as professional financial guidance. Always check important details with official sources or a qualified expert before making any big decisions.
Hey, welcome back, everyone. So today we're getting into something that I think a lot of people have used without really thinking twice about it. Those online eligibility checkers for, support schemes, benefits, that kind of thing. Assad, you've been wanting to talk about this for a while, right?
Yeah, honestly, it's one of those topics that seems so boring on the surface. Like, who wants to talk about eligibility checkers? But when you actually look at what's going on under the hood, it's kind of alarming, actually.
Alarming. Okay, well, that's a strong start.
I know. But let me paint the picture. So you've heard about the warm home discount, that $150 rebate on your electricity bill. You find a checker online, you tap in your details, and within 30 seconds, you get a yes or no. And you think, right, job done.
Yeah.
But well, the thing is that one tick box result rarely reflects the actual messy reality of your household finances, or your supplier's rules, or the dozens of other schemes you might also qualify for. These tools are designed to filter people quickly. They're gatekeepers, not advisors. Does that make sense?
It does, yeah. I mean, I've used them myself, and I just assumed that was it. Like, that's the answer.
Right, and that's exactly the problem, because government figures and independent research, policy and practice estimated this, point to around $23 billion in benefits, council tax reductions, and energy support going unclaimed every year in the UK.
Wait, 23 billion?
23 billion. Yeah,
That's that's a staggering number.
it really is. And the typical household that misses out is forfeiting somewhere between 500 and 2,000 pounds a year because they trusted one checker that gave them a frat no and they just walked away.
So that single no could be costing someone more than a month's energy bills.
Exactly that. And I think the key thing to hold on to is a not eligible result from one checker is not a verdict on your overall entitlement. It's one answer to one narrowly worded question on one specific scheme.
Okay, so let's dig into the warm home discount specifically because that's the one everyone mentions first. How does it actually work? Because I feel like people sort of know the name, but not the detail.
Yeah, so it's a one-off £150 rebate on your electricity bill applied between October and March. In England and Wales, it's now mostly automatic for eligible households. But in Scotland, and we'll come back to this, it's still different. There's a core group and a broader group, and you might actually need to apply to your supplier.
Automatic sounds great though, right? Like if you qualify, it just happens?
You'd think so, but automatic does not mean guaranteed. The system uses data matching between the DWP, your energy supplier, and property valuation data that determines whether your home has high energy costs. And if any one of those data points is wrong or out of date, you can be, and this is the frustrating bit, silently excluded. No notification, nothing.
Oh, so you could be sitting there thinking it's all sorted and it's just not?
Exactly. You just don't get it, and you never find out why.
That's really frustrating. And this high energy costs thing, what does that actually mean?
So this is where most people get blindsided. The energy cost score is calculated from property data the government holds, not from your actual bills. So a drafty Victorian terrace might score lower than you'd expect, while a modern flat might score higher. And you can't see the score, you can't dispute it, you can't correct the data behind it.
Wait, seriously? So it's not about how much energy I'm actually using? It's about what the government thinks my house costs to heat?
That's wild, isn't it?
It really is.
And a really practical tip here, before applying for any energy support, log into your energy supplier's account and double check that your address, your name spelling, your account number all match exactly what appears on your benefits correspondence, because a single mismatched character can break that data link and silently exclude you.
Hmm, that's one of those things you'd never think to check, you know?
No, and that's the problem. It's such a small thing, but it has outsized consequences.
Okay, and you mentioned Scotland is different. What's going on there?
Yeah, so Scotland still runs the older model. The core group covers pensioners on pension credit guarantee credit and is largely automatic, but the broader group is supplier defined. Each energy company sets slightly different rules, different application windows, and crucially, different budgets. And that last part really matters.
Because the money runs out?
Exactly. Broader group funding is finite. Once your supplier hits its quota, applications close for the year. Doesn't matter if you would have qualified. People who wait until February often miss out entirely. Most supplier windows open in October and typically close by January or February. So you genuinely have weeks, not months to act.
So if you're in Scotland and on a low income, don't wait. Check in early autumn.
Absolutely. Early autumn, not winter. That's critical.
Right. Okay. So what are the other big mistakes you see people making beyond just trusting one checker?
So, well, there's a few, and honestly, none of them are stupid mistakes. They're the predictable result of a system that assumes you already know how it works, which, most people don't.
Fair enough.
So, mistake two is using outdated household details. People enter last year's income, or they forget a partner's recent change in hours, or they omit a non-dependent adult living with them. Each of those can completely flip the result. And some checkers ask leading questions like, do you receive any qualifying benefit, which assumes you know which benefits qualify. If you tick no out of uncertainty, the checker just gives up on you.
That feels almost designed to trip you up.
It does, doesn't it? And then there's the property data issue we talked about, that invisible energy cost score. If your property's been reclassified or split into flats, the government's records might not reflect that. The practical fix is to check your council tax band, your address format, and your Royal Mail postcode are all consistent across your energy account, your benefits records, and the land registry. Inconsistencies there have caused real households to be excluded.
That's a lot of cross-referencing.
It is, but the fourth mistake is maybe the one that costs people the most, and that's applying in the wrong order.
Oh, I hadn't thought about that. Go on.
So many schemes interact with each other. Claiming pension credit, for example, can automatically unlock the warm home discount, the free TV license for over 75s, council tax reduction, cold weather payments. If you skip the pension credit application because the amount looks small, maybe it's only a few pounds a week, you could be forfeiting thousands in linked entitlements.
Oh, so the pension credit isn't just the pension credit. It's the key that opens a whole bunch of other doors.
Yes, that's exactly it. And checkers almost never explain that dependency. They just test one thing in isolation.
I hadn't thought about it like that. Can you give me a real example of what this looks like when someone actually does the full audit?
Yeah, absolutely. So I remember Sarah from Leeds, single mom working part-time. She'd given up on benefits entirely after one checker said she didn't qualify for the warm home discount. But when we sat down and ran a full turn to us calculation together, she discovered she was missing a council tax reduction worth $840 a year, a $200 household support fund voucher, and free school meals top-ups she'd never even applied for.
Wow.
Total uncovered support, over $1,200, and about 20 minutes of work.
20 minutes. Okay, that really drives it home. But I want to talk about the hidden costs too, because it's not just about the money you miss, is it?
No, it's not. There's the time costs, filling in forms, gathering evidence, phoning suppliers, waiting on hold, resubmitting after rejections. That can easily consume 20 hours per scheme. For a working parent or carer, that's a meaningful chunk of unpaid labor. And then there's the mental health costs, honestly. The system is notoriously stressful. Repeated rejections, opaque decisions, the feeling of being judged, it genuinely deters people from reapplying even when their circumstances change.
Yeah, I can absolutely imagine that. It's kind of a lot.
It really is. And there's a data and privacy angle too that people don't think about. Some unofficial checkers are run by lead generation companies that resell your details. You hand over your name, address, income range, benefit status, household composition, all for a yes or no answer. Always check who runs the tool and what their privacy policy actually says.
Oh, that's actually quite scary. So, what should people look for? Like, how do you know a checker is legitimate?
Stick to checkers run by registered charities, your local council, your energy supplier, or government services with a gov.uk domain. If a third party offers to maximize your benefits for a fee, treat it with deep skepticism. Free regulated advice is widely available and far safer.
Good. Okay, so we've gone through all the things that go wrong. What's the smarter approach? What should people actually do?
So the reframing that I think changes everything is this. Instead of asking, am I eligible for X? Ask, what is the full set of support my household can access this year? And I recommend a 7-step audit. The whole thing typically takes 1 to 2 hours spread across an afternoon.
1 to 2 hours for potentially hundreds or thousands of pounds? That's a good trade.
Yeah, the hourly rate on that is pretty decent. So, step 1. Start with a comprehensive benefits calculator from a reputable charity. Turn to Us, Entitled To, Policy and Practice. These check dozens of schemes at once and take about 15 minutes.
Okay.
Step 2. Run scheme-specific checkers for the big rebates: warm home discount, cold weather payment, winter fuel payment. Step 3, and this one's really important. Contact your local council directly about the Household Support Fund and any discretionary hardship grants. These vary wildly by postcode, and they rarely appear in national checkers.
And you said calling is better than just looking at their website?
Much better. Many councils have discretionary funds that aren't promoted online at all. They're released to people who actually ask. A 10-minute phone call has uncovered grants of 100 to 500 pounds for households I know personally.
That's amazing. What a difference a phone call makes.
Right? And then step 4, ask your energy supplier about their charitable trust fund. British Gas, EDF, Octopus, Scottish Power, they all run them. They can clear arrears or even replace broken appliances. Step 5, speak to a free, regulated advisor at Citizens Advice or a local welfare rights service before you submit major applications. Step 6, review your council tax band and check for any single person or disability discounts you might be entitled to.
And step 7?
Rerun the whole thing annually, because both your circumstances and the schemes change every year. What you didn't qualify for last year, you might qualify for now.
That makes sense. And okay, so someone does all this and a checker still says no. What then?
Don't just accept it. Reread every question, confirm you answered with current, accurate information, check whether the scheme has appeal or review mechanisms, the warm home discount has a dispute process through your supplier and through Ofgem. Consider whether claiming a different qualifying benefit first would unlock it. Look at adjacent schemes like Eco4 for insulation or the Priority Services Register for vulnerable customers. And definitely speak to Citizens Advice because they can sometimes spot entitlements that automated tools miss entirely.
And recheck after any major life change, right?
Absolutely. New baby, job loss, partner moving in or out, disability diagnosis, reaching state pension age, any of those can completely change what you're entitled to.
Can I ask, I know people worry about this. Does applying for benefits affect your credit score?
No, benefit applications are not credit checks. They don't appear on your credit file at all.
Oh, that's actually reassuring. And if your circumstances change after you get something like the warm home discount, do you have to pay it back?
Most one-off rebates like the warm home discount are not repayable. Ongoing benefits may be reassessed if your income rises, but you can also withdraw an application at any point before a decision is made. So there's really very little risk in applying.
Good. Okay, so to pull this all together for everyone listening, the big takeaway is that eligibility checkers are a useful door, but they are not the destination. Use them as step one, not the only step. Run a full benefits calculator with Turn to Us or Entitled To. Call your local council directly, don't just check the website. Ask your energy supplier about their hardship and trust funds, get free advice from Citizens Advice, check your council tax situation, and do the whole thing again next year because everything changes.
That's it. Block out a couple of hours this weekend, work through that 7-step audit, and you'll very likely walk away with money you didn't know you were owed. The households who do this consistently end up several £100s better off than those who stop at the first yes or no.
Brilliant. Thanks, Assad. That was genuinely really helpful.
Thanks, Angela. Happy to help.
Quick side note, this guide connects with other cost saver blogs, especially hidden costs of commuting that calculators routinely miss, postcode level crime data so important for rental decisions, and checklist for verifying any local service provider.
Exactly, and reading those together helps you connect the dots across your household budget, not just this one topic in isolation.
And if you want to apply this immediately, jump into tools like Support Scheme Eligibility Checker All UK right after this episode.
Primary sources used here include OffGem, Warm Home Discount Scheme, and gov.uk, Warm Home Discount Scheme, so you can verify the data yourself and stay evidence-led.
That wraps this cost saver conversation with Angela and Assad. If this helped, share it with someone who could put these ideas to work this week.
Your next step is simple. Try Support Scheme Eligibility Checker, All UK Help, then read Hidden Costs of Commuting that calculators routinely miss and use them together to take action today.